Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We talk about all things positive within your fandoms, and if that is something that appeals to you, you've come to the right place. We're so happy to have you here. Today is Something Saturday, where we just talk about things we didn't get to talk about the rest of the week. And it is the weekend before Thanksgiving. So that being said, we've decided to give you a couple more movies that you should watch this Thanksgiving. So let's jump right into it. Now, there are not a lot of Thanksgiving movies out there, unfortunately, for you to see during Thanksgiving. And if you're like me, you want to at least have a few movies to watch. So last year I put together a couple videos, a couple little movies that you could watch. And this year I've strived to do the same thing. Just like before, we had some horror movies that you could watch. And now it's time for some other Thanksgiving movies that you could watch this year. So if you're interested in seeing even more, go ahead and check out our holiday section in our playlist, and you will find a couple different videos talking about Thanksgiving Day movies you can watch. But let's get started with this list. So first up on this list is Ice Storm, a 1997 drama directed by Ang Lee, based on Rick Moody's 1994 novel of the same name. Now this movie is about the social changes going on in people's lives, and it all kind of accumulates with them having their Thanksgiving Day. So the movie takes place directly around Thanksgiving, with everything kind of happening on that day. You see their life, their struggles, and everybody sort of has their own issues. The cast to this movie was extraordinary at the time, and it still actually holds up pretty well today in terms of this cast. This cast has Tobey Maguire, Christina Ricci, Elijah Wood, Katie Holmes, Calvin Klein, Joan Allen, and it is just one of those movies that is so much fun. It is a bit heavy at times, so maybe it's not one that you want to watch if you have certain members of the family over, because it does tend to be very heavy on the drama and sort of has a few social issues that they talk about during the movie. So kind of take it with a grain of salt. Do your homework on this movie before you pop it into your audience at your table. But it is a movie that is worth watching at least once. It is a very good movie with a great cast. Next up is What's Cooking, a 2000 comedy drama. It stars Mercedes Ruehl and Kira Sedgwick, Joan Chen, and Lani Kazan, as well as a few others. This movie is very funny at times, and it is sort of a bit on the drama side because it is about family. Now, on Thanksgiving Day, 4 ethnically diverse families come together: a Latino family, an African American family, a Jewish family, and a Vietnamese family. And they gather for a traditional Thanksgiving. It is a really interesting movie as they kind of struggle to adapt to the different family issues that they're having. At times it can be funny, and at other times it does get a bit heavy, but it's all in good fun. The movie has sort of this really nice way of handling everything, and I think it is a nice message that this movie presents. So you could do a lot worse than this movie. I actually found this movie to be quite charming, which is why I put it on this list. Sure, it has its own potential problems, and the movie kind of deals with all of these groups of people coming together. And I think the world needs more of that. It doesn't always take itself completely serious, and it's able to laugh at itself, and that is a plus. Next up is National Lampoon's Thanksgiving Family Reunion, a 2003 television film about a Thanksgiving family reunion. It stars Bryan Cranston, Judge Reinhold, and Penelope Ann Miller. This movie is a National Lampoon's movie, and it tried really hard to do what the Christmas Vacation movie did. It doesn't necessarily live up to that. It is charming at times. It was also released as National Lampoon's Holiday Reunion in some regions. And my guess on that is that it was released there to farther cash in on the Christmas Vacation movie. But this movie does have a little bit different feel to it than those. It doesn't have those characters, and that kind of does hurt the movie. But the movie does have its charm. Like I said, the movie is sort of charming at times. It's not the best movie you could be watching, but if you do like National Lampoon's style of comedy, this movie is sort of entertaining at times, and you could do worse than sitting there and watching this, especially if you are looking for maybe one or two laughs. Next up is Dutch, a 1991 comedy starring Ed O'Neill, Ethan Embry, and Jo Beth Williams. Now, this movie I absolutely love. It was released as Driving Me Crazy outside of the US, but it tells the tale of this boyfriend, a potential new boyfriend coming in, and he agrees to drive his girlfriend's son to Thanksgiving from the boarding school he's in. So they're traveling cross country to get home to Thanksgiving. And the kid is an absolute brat. The kid doesn't want anything to do with him despite how nice he tries to be. So he kind of turns the tables on the kid a little bit. And it sort of becomes this back and forth between them. He's like, if you don't like me, I'm not going to like you. And it sort of has this bad Santa type of vibe, but not as heavy on the language and violence or anything like that. The movie is very lighthearted, but it's fun. And Ed O'Neill, who you might remember from Married with Children as Al Bundy, kind of does that same type of charm in this movie. He's given us that style of comedy. Only this time he's a really stand-up guy, only trying to do what's right for his girlfriend. The movie is so much fun to watch, and it is one I try to find on streaming every year. When I can't find it, I resort to actually renting it or getting it on DVD, whatever I have to do. It is definitely a must to watch every Thanksgiving for me. And I think you would thoroughly enjoy watching this movie if you like a good road movie. If you like Plane, Trains, and Automobiles even, this movie sort of also has that type of feel. All they need to do is make it home for Thanksgiving. But the question is, will they? And how will they handle living together, getting through this together? Will they be able to get along? Or will them not getting along result in absolute mayhem? Then last up is Allisons Restaurant from 1969. It's a comedy film directed by Arthur Penn. It's an adaptation of the 1967 folk song Allisons Restaurant Massacre. And It was originally written and sung by Arlo Guthrie, who actually stars in this film as himself. The film is kind of cool. It's definitely one that isn't for everybody's taste if you don't like some of the older music, or maybe you don't like this style of film. I don't know. But it is one that I have come to appreciate, having heard the song really young. My dad always made me listen to this song, and I have sort of a fondness for it. So he also made me watch this movie, and I do have a fondness for this movie as well. It is about him attempting to avoid the draft by attending a college in Montana. And it gets him in trouble. But the movie takes place around Thanksgiving and kind of has that whole Thanksgiving thing going for it. You could do a lot worse than this movie. It is a little bit of a period piece now, although when it came out, it really wasn't. And I think the movie does maintain some of its charm. So that's it for this list of movies that you should watch this Thanksgiving, provided that you can find them. But I want to know what you guys think. If you've seen any of these movies, do you have a personal favorite off this list? I want to hear from you. As always, we want to know what you guys think, so leave us a comment in the comment box below. Share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of the conversation as well. Then hit that like button. It helps the channel and we appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers and you don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.